Hey friends, Pastor Paul. I wanted to share a quick story. When I was heading into year one of the LDI internship, I was support raising for the first time. I'd never done support raising before, and Allison and I had made the mistake, looking back, of going to Belize right before this, and it wasn't a mistake. It was a great trip. We had saved for it. But when I started to reach out for support to people, I had just gotten back from Belize and posted all these awesome photos. Caught a huge barracuda there, and well, anyway, so we reached out to support to a lot of people who were at our wedding, who had supported us at our wedding, and now I'm trying to raise financial support for our ministry, or for me doing this LDI internship. And so reached back out to those people and was met with a lot of just disinterest, and then even some hostility, or some people were telling my parents that I was a grifter and a beggar, and it was really a hard season. It hit me hard, mostly partly because I was new to it, but also because my reputation in my mind was that of a hard worker, someone who's doing things for the right reasons in the right way, and so it just hit me really hard. And I remember like kind of persevering through that with God's help, and realizing one of the things that I needed to do was communicate clearly to people what support raising was. I had not done a good job of communicating to people, here's what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and here's what support raising is. The fact that amazingly, when you think about it in church life, when you think about it in people going on missions trips or committing to be global missionaries or local missionaries, that they are raising support. They are actually saying, I'm trusting God to provide my needs from outside myself through others who are also trusting God. As we look at an outward focused summer, it actually is a big deal, and it is very vulnerable to ask us and to try to lead us to be outwardly focused, whether that's serving, whether that's giving, whether that's praying for others and not just for the things we want or need. But then, even now, as we get ahead and look ahead to launching our community groups, that is another area that we are going to take a step of commitment, take a step of sacrifice, and moving toward deeper and richer community as a church and following Jesus together. And so, all of that to say, it is always worth it. When we did LDI and I was support raising, I had so much anxiety. Would God provide? Are we going to be okay? And to be honest, I never hit the goals that I set out to raise for our income. And we still made it through. There were lean years, and it was, different than maybe we thought it would look like. And in that, all the while, God provided. I think when we look at what we looked at this week in the sermon, and that God brings us into resurrection hope and resurrection power, we can be reminded, and you probably have experienced this in many seasons of your life. God always comes through. God is always faithful. So when we think about being outward focused and the thoughts start to creep into our mind of how will that impact me? How's that going to impact my life? We can be reminded whatever we do boldly, taking chances, taking risks, stepping out in faith for God, He is always faithful and He will provide for us. We know that because He provided and met our ultimate need in sending His Son to be our Savior. So, friends, I hope you're having a great week, and I'm excited to see you again on Sunday.